say 5 or 6, on thin paper, and headed Society for the Study of Normal Psychology, Secretary's Report for the year 1978, amended draft 23-279. The present troubles, industrial, financial, political, and social, which have been assailing what we used to call Western civilization, have contributed to an increase in the numbers of people turning to this society for help in sorting out their problems and in the efforts of its members to meet this demand. This is true not only of London and people in other parts of England, but of branches of the society in foreign countries, notably USA, Canada, Mexico, New Zealand, and Australia. New paragraph. The year 1978 marked the centenary of the birth of the founder of this society, the Russian writer P.D. Uspensky, and was celebrated by Yale University, USA, in the form of an exhibition of all the available writings and publications stemming from him and his associates. This attracted widespread interest, and the brochure describing him, to which we contributed, was already sold out by the end of the year, necessitating a reprint. New paragraph. The third issue of the Society's journal, The Bridge, was largely concerned with showing how apt his teachings were to the needs of ordinary people today. Semicolon. Though not ready for distribution by the end of 1978, requests for copies had been received both from Yale and from a Canadian university near Ontario. Uspensky is increasingly seen as a leading figure in Western philosophy during the present century, and his published works are now, quote, required reading at Yale. Before he died in 1947, he considered that while some details of his teaching were out of date, the general framework would remain valuable if brought level with major discoveries in the field of neuropsychology and expressed in the language of today in different places, in different parts of the world. New paragraph. This need has become all the more evident with the decline of moral standards and religious influences among people at large, couched as they usually are in medieval terms and dependent on medieval dogmas. Ultimately, this depends upon our education system, where knowledge of human nature still differs little from the Victorian psychology of the last century. No notice is being taken of the great advances made by technological sciences related to man, since these lie buried in specialist journals and require translation from a language too detailed and complicated to be understood by the layman. We refer, among much else, to the non-specific mechanism for alerting to consciousness, semicolon, to the description by the Canadian neurosurgeon Penfield of a great central headquarters in the upper brainstem, of which the cortex of the cerebral hemispheres is only a reflection, semicolon, and above all to the bilateral symmetry on which its harmonious functioning must be based. Ouspensky, bracket, who clearly foresaw the likelihood of these developments, end of bracket, founded his teaching on the threefold division of man's structure, knowledge, being, and action, which have to be equally developed for a harmonious life. By being, quoted, he meant chiefly the awakening of the conscience of the individual, by which he should know what is right and wrong for him at any moment of decision. Though mental illness is looked after by an enormously expensive mental health service, yet this society is one of few concerned with the need for normal people to make better use of their endowment and avoid those conflicts so evident now, which give rise to mental illness later. New paragraph. The society provides not only a framework of knowledge, but methods by which man's being and his action can be improved. Among these, successive annual reports have described a system of meditation, an adaptation of the macabre turning ceremonial of the Mevlevi order, and the movements to music, all of which are growing in popularity as of great practical benefit. Next paragraph. Some 300 people attend meetings twice a month at College House and mostly come to small weekly study groups, semicolon. And 300 again meet once a month at meditation meetings, many of these being interested more in first-hand experience rather than in theory. An additional 202 members of the public were instructed in meditation during 1978. Between 20 and 30 turners come every week. 46 people turned at the Mevlana festival in December. And there is an annual intake of trainees. Last May, 12 people were taught the method. The weekly movements classes are attended by some 80 people, and 7 people joined as learners. Abroad, though only the system of knowledge and of meditation can be made available, yet in the Mexican and the New Zealand branches of the society particularly, the membership has doubled during the past 2 years. Representatives of these groups visited London during the year and joined in the Society's activities. In Wellington, by the end of the year, 2 advertised lectures were given to the public, and each was attended by about 70 people who joined, many of whom joined the group or started meditation. Paragraph. At various times during the year, groups of people work together on the maintenance and decoration of College House. A work-in was held in April for this purpose. These occasions were used for the practice of, quote, single-minded attention during practical work. New paragraph. A talk entitled Unity of Movement was given by Dame Nanette de Berrois at the annual general meeting on the 16th of March. New para. During 1978, 5 members died: Miss J. McGeorge, Miss B. Murphy, Mr. A. E. Hammond, Mr. D. Crichton, and Mr. J. Healy. There were 12 resignations and 32 new members elected. Membership of the Society stood at 274 at the end of the year. But the figures for associates of the Society, that is, members of the public who join in some form of its activities, are not available and are increasing all the time. Next paragraph. Accounts for the year showed a surplus or deficit of so-and-so.